Hello everyone and welcome to episode 16 of What If Civilization Started Over. Last episode was a pretty chill episode where a lot of events happened but nothing really important. We saw the rise of Provence, which is now probably barely not in the top 10. They are probably number 11 at this point, so they're even stronger than the First Nation Persia. Uh, and now let's get into the exploring. As we see that more and more of the Eastern African coast is being discovered, and actually all of South Africa gets discovered, as well as the western coast, which is almost fully linked up, and most of the interior here also gets discovered. More of these oceans get discovered a lot over here because of trade with Nigeria. Um, Carthage is still going on, and they're almost done with exploring the Sahara, and they also meet up with this river, which they will follow on both sides to get to it, and they actually finally meet up with the civilization in the Gold Coast on both sides. So connection is finally made between the two sides of the Sahara that isn't going along the entire coast. Nigeria is also still continuing their exploration, but it's a lot slower. And they're also, without their knowledge, going in the wrong direction. So they meet up with a couple of these lakes, but then they stop over here because it's just too costly. Moving on, a Mozambique country is gonna pop up over here, which is going to look something like this. And I'll fix the borders up with the pencil. And it's going to look, it's going to look something like this. And the rest of this land is going to go over to Tanzania. I know I still haven't given the capital. I forgot. I will do it up right now. And so its capital will be right here, and a major city over here, and a major city over here. Mozambique will have a capital over here, with a major city over here. And another country will pop up over here after Egypt expands one more time. Going like this. And also taking over this lake and meeting up with the border of Tanzania. These two countries aren't very friendly because, Egypt wanted all of the Lake Victoria and they didn't get it because Tanzania got there first. So these aren't super friendly, but a war isn't gonna be waged just yet. Tanzania will also get this land over here, and a new country is gonna pop up over here, which will be probably like like this. No, it's too similar to Mozambique. How about, no, it's too similar to Egypt. It's a bit more yellow, a bit more lime. But just bright red, sure. Yeah, so another country is gonna pop up over here with its capital being right here, and they don't have a major city just yet. These guys will also get a bit more major cities over here and over here. Going to the Congo River, we see that Nigeria will expand a bit more, like this, going along the border, and this river over here. And Congo will also expand, going like this, and making it a huge expansion into the Congo rainforests. Now looking something like this, and I'll be fixing this border because it's weird. Going on this river here. Well, Nigeria is big. They'll also get this island. And this island. Moving on, we see that after this, Anatolia just completely finished off Caucasia with their capital now being turned into a major city. And I will have to remove, because I think there's a bit too many, I'll remove this major city. So Caucasia, the previous top 4 power, is now just completely gone off the map. They no longer exist, as they are now finished off by Anatolia, which is really making themselves very big. Next, Green Kazakhstan is going to do an absolutely insane amount of expansion, taking over basically all of Inner Manchuria, taking over all of this land, and also taking over land over here, reaching this river. Now barely not reaching that river, looking like that. And they will also start taking this land over here, dividing it with giving some of it be taken by Turkmenistan, which hasn't done anything in a very long time. They will do something later in the series. Trust me, I didn't just forget about them, guys. Trust me. And I think Pakistan would probably take the rest of this, with all the rest of this going over to the Tibet country, following this river, like so. And this land's finally now filled up. I hope for you guys that this border is very obvious, because I know in the video it's a lot darker for me, but I hope it's not super bad. Moving on, we see that Korea will now expand into the Vladivostok region, taking land over a bit like this. They are trying to like not take land so that these guys don't get absolutely ginormous, but they're not really doing it well, as you can see, because they are absolutely ginormous. Pink China will take over some land, like so. It's not a lot, but it's some. And a new Chinese country will pop up, which will be dark purple, and it's going to inhabit the north of the still inhabited Chinese land, or maybe the south. I think the south, maybe like this. No, the south, and the north will have uh, a dark cyan country over here. No, I don't like that. Maybe a bit more. No. Yeah, maybe that. Sure. So now China is completely filled in, and this map, and Asia, well, except like northern Japan and Siberia, is completely filled in. Alright, now I'll be going to the main event of the video, which is going to concern Anatolia again, as they'll be invading another country. I know, they've been like on an invading streak for ages. Will they invade Greece and kind of like destroy their alliance with the Balkan Empire, which is it's still a thing, they're still somewhat allied? Will they invade Northern Caucasia to increase their Caucasian land even more? Will they invade Turkmenistan to like get all of the Caucasus? Or will they invade now Palestine again to get the rest of the rest of the land. Actually, none, as they start their invasion of Mesopotamia. And I will make this a lot lighter because otherwise it looks very much like a Jaws. Yes, but if we do look at the power rankings, we see that Anatolia is lower in the power rankings than Mesopotamia. So what gives? Well, actually, a couple years ago, right before they took over the rest of the Caucasia, a new leader took over the country. It was a previous general, and he has some thoughts about the Mesopotamian religion, and he wants to change that, and he thinks he can take over the Mesopotamian Empire. So he will try, and forces start flooding in, and the first garrisons get completely destroyed by his troops. He is a military genius at the time. The way his troops fight has never been seen before, and he just completely defeats them in a major battle over here. They decisively win against the major army of the Mesopotamians, which gains them all of this land, and they also make landings over here and over here. But the one over here gets put down quickly, and Mesopotamia starts their own invasion of Anatolia, but this was in previously conquered territory. And it seems that Mesopotamia is kind of backboned. Like, they do not live up to what the Crescent Empire was. The Crescent Empire is long gone now. It's the year 600 24, let's say that 624. So the Crescent Empire is already 624 years old before it last existed. But Mesopotamia is actually pretty unstable. Like, if we look at the religion map, we see that this place is the only one of the majority. But there's actually, like for instance, this region over here actually only has like is like 60% majority for people, the Mesopotamian religion, and the rest are just the river religion. So Mesopotamia doesn't really have a full, really hard majority like Egypt has, because they have a very strong majority in their own country, with this city being the only exception. But Mesopotamia doesn't, which it gives an awful lot of instability, and they just have not been dealing with it well. And the percentages are slowly going into the river religion's favor all across the country, which is why Anatolia acted now to put like the nail in the coffin, as they start to make more and more gains over here, and their goal is to just completely destroy the Mesopotamian Empire and slowly make the river religion the majority in Mesopotamia again. Mesopotamia tries to make a major breakthrough here, and while they do gain some land, they don't get the breakthrough that they really wanted. They do get all this land over here, and they get this land back. But Anatolia is not really focusing on the Caucasus. They are just storming down the Euphrates and the Tigris, I think. I just a brain fart. Damn. But yeah, Mesopotamia is not living up to its name as the seventh strongest country in the world right now, because they're losing to the ninth strongest country in the world with no other help from any other country. And Anatolia makes a pincer maneuver towards the city with all the river religion people to like get more people on their side, and the people there open them with a lot of people there open the gates, like not the majority, but like a group of like 30 people open the gates for them, which makes them flood in, makes them lose all this land, and even their second army starts pushing them back in in the Caucasus, which is a huge morale loss for the Mesopotamians because they're just fully losing. They're they're not winning on any front because like a side group is has branched off to like corner the rest of the major Mesopotamian army over here, and they connect up with this lake. So basically, where they have to go here because they're not cornered over here, and they win a decisive battle over here, which makes them lose all this land over here, and it basically it's just free rolling for Anatolia now as they just flood through the Mesopotamian rivers, and they just quickly take over all Turani territory, and it's kind of over for the Mesopotamians. All this desert land gets taken over, and the Mesopotamians surrender. This war took about 2 years. So let's take a look at this peace treaty. And the peace treaty is going to look something like this. This was a very harsh peace treaty, as you can see, because the Mesopotamians only have their very core land. As we see another Turanian country, Iranian country being made up. Anatolia annexing just half of the Mesopotamian country. There being as like another Arabian country, which Persia ceded land to, like this land over here, like this land. They ceded it to them in exchange for this land, which Persia happily agreed to. And Anatolia is now the strongest country in the Middle East, except for Egypt, but that's kind of a different region. And Anatolia just beat the living hell out of a country which was supposed to be stronger than them. So maybe the balance of power, maybe the power rankings don't really say much. And this new general goes over to this city over here and pronounces that he will make a revival for the river religion. And over time, the river religion, like the one that worships all rivers and not just the Mesopotamia, will slowly make a revival over here and start pushing back. And the one in this city starts expanding along the rivers. So yeah, Anatolia just had a huge victory for the river religion. And also this land over here, that's part of the red team, that's part of red Persia now, also starts converting. So yeah, that is a huge loss, and also this one was already lost a long time ago. I don't know why that's still here. Staying on the religion layer, we see that all of India has now adopted the mountain religion, and also some parts of the of Central Southeast Asia will start adopting it. And we also see that Turkmenistan, now that they have seen the Himalayas, Turkmenistan will actually adopt the mountain religion. As lands over here start following this religion, which looks something like this, and the capital region also adopts this religion. So now there's kind of a real clash between the religions because this one is very close to one of the main regions, which is Persia and Mesopotamia. So we'll see how that pans out. Let's change it a bit over here. More like this. Now, moving on from religion, we go over to Turkmenistan, which is now finally going to do something again. I said that they haven't done anything for a long time, so I'm gonna act on that. As they start their invasion of northern Caucasia, and they just immediately take over the capital, and they start sneaking up the coast. Seems they just kind of want the Caspian Sea for themselves, and they can just kind of easily get it. Ukraine also starts her own invasion and starts storming down the east, taking over half the country immediately. And this country just immediately surrenders. And let's take a look at this peace treaty. The peace treaty is going to look something like this, with Turkmenistan getting all of this land, Ukraine getting this land, and Pink Caucasia actually getting this land, with this land going over to Ukraine. Now looking something like this, with the country being fully partitioned. Pink team, you should be scared. Because in the north they only need this coast left, and you're the one who has that coast. So be scared. Yeah. And now we'll go on to the power rankings. Because yes, they have severely changed. And I'll keep them white. I actually like them being white. So, are those all of them? Yes. So, at number 1, we have North India. No, Orange India. My bad. At number 2, we have Southeast Asia. At number 3, we have Pakistan. At number 4, we have the Balkan Empire. At number 5, we have Anatolia. These two are actually really close. I'll do that later. At number 6 is Egypt. At number 7 is Carthage. At number 8 is North India. They have kind of a famine here, so that's why they're a bit lower now. At number 9 is Turkmenistan. And at number 10 is Provence, the first European country that isn't the Balkan Empire that finally made it into the top 10. Yippee. Other contenders for the top 10 are probably Nigeria, Persia, probably Korea and Green Kazakhstan about at this point. But yeah, those are about it, I think. The others are not that strong compared to the others. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this episode. I have huge things planned for this. I have no plan on stopping. I know my upload schedule has kind of slowed down a bit, but that's because I'm just enjoying my break, and the school season is starting up again literally tomorrow for me. So that's why my upload schedule will not get faster anytime soon. It will probably get even slower. Like maybe upload once or twice a week and nothing more. But I do hope you do enjoy this, and if you do, please tell me, because it does encourage me to keep going. Because sometimes I kind of lose motivation, but I am planning to continue this till whenever I feel like it's done. So, goodbye.